Like, okay, one question. Well, I have 5 or 6, 7 questions. What woman you know, what mom you know, okay, pulls up, hit the garage door, okay, to be open, pulls in, put the car in park, okay, close the garage, okay, and decides, oh, I'm gonna go to sleep.
And her little boy.
Seagoville police were called to a welfare check last week when relatives couldn't get in contact with them, and officers found the mother and son both unresponsive inside their home.
This woman, man.
House.
All these bad women getting... I feel like, yeah. Gotta be some mix. Gain some emotional intelligence. Facts, special girl. Facts. You hear me? I ain't lying. Yeah, like, don't it seem like the pretty ones seem like they on shit? They be all into everything because they pretty. Because that pretty shit, you can't really like, you can't look past it because they deal with this and they deal with that and they deal with this and they get offered this and they get offered that. You know what I'm saying? Let's go here, fly here, fly here. They live that fast life. You know what I'm saying? Them bitches like this, they live that fast life. And when you live that fast life, the train can start running real quick and you run into a brick wall. When you moving too fast, you run into a brick wall. Not dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's. These women be moving crazy. They pretty. And guess what? They think that you're gonna go that far. They don't go that far, baby girl. And like, the prettier you are, the more vulnerable you are getting your ass beat up or something because nobody, you don't got time for that. You don't. And you pretty women like taking advantage and be simps and spending all their money on y'all. Then when y'all do some stupid, boom, then these niggas ready to crash out. You know why? Because you don't took all the nigga money, used the nigga, made him feel like he's special, and then boom, you did this. Now he gonna fuck you up. Pretty girls better stop using these niggas, man. I'm telling y'all, stop trying to use niggas and be around niggas and take these flights and these fucking trips and all that. Stop that shit. Take your own fucking flights, take your own fucking trips, man. Like, to be a big girl, boss it up. When you get the man, are you gonna be able to keep him? You gotta know how to take care of the man. That's just all I'm saying. So, yeah. But yeah, let's get into the story, man. Let's see what happened to her. I don't know what happened to her, but they say that her and her son or her child passed away. And she's a pretty woman as well. So, let's break it down, man.
Ladies, I need to ask you all something serious. If your man told you to keep your relationship secret for 7 years, would you do it? Because I'm about to tell you about a woman who did exactly that, and it got her and her 7-year-old son killed on her birthday.
What the
Protected. He hasn't said a single word since they found her body. Not one.
Bruh.
Y'all still think loyalty pays? You're on TikTok Crimes. We cover what happens when social media fame turns fatal.
That ain't loyalty,
TikTok
that's just
stars,
sneak it.
Instagram couples, Facebook influencers. When their posts become crime scenes, we break down exactly what went wrong. These aren't just viral stories.
She was loyal,
These
but
are real murders.
he
real
wasn't loyal,
victims.
so why she shouldn't have been loyal to that nigga?
Subscribe right now if you want the truth behind the trending hashtags. Because by the time something goes viral, somebody's usually already dead.
Nah, for real.
Here's what happened.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix.
Meet Lyric Bacchus, 27 years old, living in
27,
Seagoville,
these girls
Texas,
young.
and absolutely crushing the game. Now, when I say crushing, I don't mean she was just getting by or making ends meet. This woman had built herself a legitimate empire from absolutely nothing. Her boutique, Lyric's Closet, wasn't some little side hustle. She was running out of her bedroom. We're talking about a full-blown business that was pulling in serious money every single month.
She was getting that guap. Careful.
Lyric had mastered something that most people spend years trying to figure out. She knew how to turn her personal style into cold, hard cash. Every morning, she'd wake up in that Seagoville house with the kind of energy that made other entrepreneurs jealous. She'd style herself.
Hold on, what
in
that say?
pieces
She said,
from
"Other
her
what?
own collection,
Who was
snap
jealous?"
photos, and her personal style into cold, hard cash. Every morning, she'd wake up in that Seagoville house with the kind of energy that made other entrepreneurs jealous.
Yeah.
She'd style herself in pieces from her own collection, snap photos that had her followers hitting that buy button faster than they could blink, and ship orders from coast to coast. Her Instagram wasn't just pretty photos either. This woman had over 200,000
You gotta have
people
emotional
hanging on her
intelligence.
every word. And these weren't just casual followers scrolling past her content. These were customers. These were women who trusted Lyric's taste so much that when she said something was worth buying, they bought it. No questions asked. But here's what made Lyric different from every other influencer out there chasing fame and followers. She was doing all of this while raising a 7-year-old son. Alone. And when I say alone, I mean alone. No baby daddy helping with school pickup. No man splitting the bills. No father figure showing up to birthday parties or parent-teacher conferences. Juice, that's what everyone called her little boy, was everything to Lyric. This kid wasn't just cute, he was magnetic. When Lyric would bring him into her content, her comments section would absolutely explode. Heart emojis, love reactions, people begging for more content with him. He was in first grade at the local elementary school, doing his homework at the kitchen table while Mama worked on inventory, going on weekend trips that always somehow ended up as content for the gram. The bond between them? Unbreakable doesn't even begin to cover it. Lyric had structured her entire business schedule around Juice's school hours.
That's so sad.
Pickup time was sacred. Bedtime stories were non-negotiable. This wasn't just a single mother juggling responsibilities. This was a woman who had figured out how to build generational wealth while being the mother she never had growing up. Now, here's where things get interesting. And by interesting, I mean suspicious. For all of Lyric's openness about her business, her success, her daily life with Deuce, there was one topic that was completely off limits. One question that would make her change the subject faster than you could ask it. Who is Deuce's father? Y'all, I need you to understand something about small communities, like Seagoville, Texas. Population barely pushing 16,000. This is the kind of place where everyone knows which car belongs to which family, where neighbors still wave from their front porches, where a success story like Lyric's becomes the talk of every barbershop and beauty salon within a 20-mile radius. In a community like that, people notice things. They noticed how Lyric always showed up to school events alone. They noticed that there were never any father figures in her holiday photos or birthday celebrations. They noticed that for 7 years, not a single person could get this woman to say who had helped her make that beautiful little boy. And trust me, people tried. Comments asking about her dating life went unanswered. Questions about Deuce's dad got quietly deleted. This wasn't But here's the thing about secrets in small communities. They don't stay secret. They become whispers.
Damn.
And those whispers, they follow you everywhere. At Juice's school events, other parents would observe how Lyric always arrived alone. During community gatherings, folks would watch her interact with her son and start making their own connections. Physical resemblances don't lie, y'all. And in Dallas's tight-knit social circles, certain resemblances to certain local celebrities became conversation topics at hair salons and barbershops. The Dallas music scene is smaller than you think. Insiders know things. They recognize patterns. They've seen this movie before. Successful, intelligent women who build their own brands while maintaining careful distance from their children's famous fathers. Women who understand the rules of a very particular game. Now, I can't confirm this because the man in question has stayed silent as a church mouse, but sources in the Dallas music scene have been whispering for years about alleged connections between Lyric and a prominent rapper. We're talking about someone with millions of followers, chart-topping hits, and everything to lose if certain truths came to light. This wasn't just any musician either. This was someone who commanded respect in the hip-hop community, sold out venues, had collaborations with major artists. The kind of person whose image was worth protecting at all costs. And for 7 years, Lyric apparently played by the rules. No public acknowledgement, no family photos, no father-son moments shared.
Why would you want that?
She built her empire,
I'm not
raised her son,
understanding.
and kept her mouth shut about the one thing everyone wanted to know.
So I want to know, did she keep her mouth shut from telling people about who her baby daddy is, or did she keep her mouth shut from saying who she was dealing with? I'm confused. Because if she kept her mouth shut, I mean, I understand keeping your mouth, like, you don't want to tell people, you know, who the father is of your child, because you probably, you know, probably bring back trauma and bring back old shit. I'm trying to figure, the new nigga. Okay, so why would you... See, this is the type I'm talking about when I'm talking about with women. Why? You got your own money, baby. That's what I'm saying. You got your own money, baby. You can take care of yourself. You doing your own thing. Why would you want to deal with it that don't want you to be shown off or anything like that? Like, why would you want to be a hidden or secret to a nigga like that and you don't need the nigga? I see if he was the bread, if he had all the fucking, yeah, like that's lack of self-love. Like, the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? This should just be so sad, bro. It's like, why are you dealing with a nigga like that? And you completely don't have to. You gonna abide by this man rules for 7 years? Bro, that's a lack of self-love, bro.
But here's what Lyric might not have realized. Sometimes the very arrangement that provides security becomes the foundation for...
Unless... I know. Unless she was out here doing her thing with like a little chicken wing. Unless she was out here being a player, so she ain't care if the dude didn't want to, show her off because she was sneaking and geeking too. So it's like, hey, bet he don't want to show me off. That's perfect because I'm doing what I'm doing anyway, so it all works out. The only way you gonna figure that, only way you gonna do that for 7 years is if you moving like that. Only way. Other than that, if this is your man and you faithful and you want him and him only, and you ain't got no baggage back there, you ain't doing nothing. Come on now. You ain't doing that for no 7 years. Come on now. And you got your own money. Come on now.
your destruction. Because when you live in the shadows of someone else's life, it becomes easier for that someone to make you disappear entirely.
Come on, knee deep.
February 9th, 2024 was approaching. Lyric's 28th birthday. She had every reason to celebrate. Her
Right.
business was thriving, her son was healthy and happy, and she'd built the kind of life most people only dream about. But what she didn't know was that this birthday would be her last, and the secret she'd protected for 7 years.
That's
It was
crazy.
about to become the reason she and little Deuce would never see another sunrise. February 9th, 2024. Lyric Bacchus woke up with the kind of energy only a birthday can bring. 28 years old, successful business owner, devoted mother. She had every reason to celebrate. Her Instagram stories that morning showed her usual radiant smile, makeup perfectly applied, excitement radiating through the screen.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, this commentary, I ain't gonna lie, whoever's speaking on this commentary, she the shit. Money don't fix it all. You right about that. Hey, you was completely right about that. No cap, money does not fix it all at all. Sometimes, money bring more problems. Money bring more problems, I ain't gonna lie. Like, a lot of people think like because they rich and they happy all the time. No, nigga. The richest people be the most miserable sometimes. Like, not all the time, not all rich people, but most rich people, they be miserable. Y'all don't even know the half, I'm telling you. And I see why, and I can tell why, because the more and more I do entrepreneurship, and the more and more I'm kind of like getting in the industry, bro, this is stressful, bro. Niggas gonna be working for the rest of their life. I don't think y'all understand it. Just think this entrepreneur shit is, oh yeah, you get rich, then you just know, nigga. You gotta stay rich, nigga. Cause once you get rich, now you gonna have a nice expensive car, nice expensive fucking house. Now you gotta keep your richness. So it's gonna be more problems that you're gonna have to deal with to keep them fucking money. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's why I tell people, and then you gotta die one day. So don't stress the fuck out over figuring all these obstacles and shit and illusions and shit in life to get rich. You know what I'm saying? Just to die one day. It's like, damn, that's fucked up. That's why I tell people, just go work and just work at your pace. Don't look at no Instagram. Be like, oh man, he got this. He 15 and I'm 30 and I ain't got this. Who gives a? It was his time. Let him time. When your time is your time. So don't stress over because you see other people doing shit. They got more money than you. Don't stress over that shit. Live your life the best way you can, and that's how you stay stress free. Okay, and that's how you stay happy. You wake up happy every day. When you just worry about you and you in competition with yourself. You want to make yourself a better person every day. Every day you wake up, you want to be better as for yourself, not for nobody motherfucking else. Okay, so as long as you wake up and you know, boom, your goal is to be better than you was yesterday yourself, then you good. You can be happy. You're not gonna be stressed out. You're not gonna be worried about stupid shit like that. You're not gonna be worried about materialistic shit in life. Worrying about a fucking car that you think you look good in driving. Fuck that car. You know, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Like, 'cause once you get the car, guess what? Your ass ain't even gonna care about the goddamn car no more. 2 months later, you gonna be trying to return that bucket. Like, oh, I got the car. Yeah, what's next? You know what I'm saying? So like, it's always what's next? What's next? What's next? It's never, oh, I'm satisfied. Okay, I'm with this. Woo. I'm never a satisfied nigga. I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to life and like shit that I want, I'm never satisfied. I'm satisfied like, you know, a relationship. If I got a good girl on my hands, I'm satisfied. I don't gotta cheat and all that shit. I'm talking about satisfied as in life, nigga. I always feel like I could do better. I can get more. I can do more. I can turn it up another notch. I feel like it's no ceiling to entrepreneurship or what you want to do or what you're trying to do in life. Always appreciate what you got, because you can lose it all tomorrow.
Birthday girl mode activated. She captioned her morning selfie. The comments flooded in immediately. Hundreds of heart emojis, birthday wishes, love from her loyal followers. Everything looked perfect. Everything looked normal. But here's the thing about that word normal. It's usually the calm before the storm. The morning routine was typical. Getting Deuce ready for school, packing his backpack, sharing their usual mother-son banter over breakfast. Neighbors later recalled seeing them leave together around 7:30 a.m., Lyric walking her son to the car. With that protective hand on his shoulder she was
Y'all
known
know,
for.
man, every month,
dropped
my
him
top
off
3
at school,
subscribers get
waved goodbye through the
cash
window,
prize, man.
and went to handle some
Cash
business
App or
errands.
Apple Pay.
Just
So,
another day in the life she
If
built
you following
from
me
nothing.
and you tuning in with
Or
me
so
and you
it
engaging,
seemed.
you already 20 steps ahead
By
of these other
afternoon,
mothers.
he had picked
Let's
up
get this
Juice
money.
from school. Security footage from a nearby gas station would later show them stopping for snacks around 3:15 p.m. Juice grabbing his favorite chips while Lyric filled up the tank. They were laughing, completely normal, completely unaware that these would be their final moments of joy. They arrived home to their Seagoville house just after 4 p.m. The same house where Lyric had built her empire, where Juice had learned to ride his bike, where birthday celebrations had happened before. But this time, something was different. Sources close to Lyric later suggested that her 28th birthday had become more than just a celebration. It had become a breaking point. After 7 years of keeping someone else's secret, after years of protecting a man who wouldn't even acknowledge her publicly,
Shit crazy.
Lyric had apparently reached her limit. And here's where things get really interesting.
Uh-oh.
According to people who knew her, Lyric had been hinting for weeks that she was tired of living in the shadows. Friends say she'd been talking about setting the record straight and telling her truth. Some even claim she'd been drafting text messages that would expose everything she'd been hiding for 7 years. Whether those messages were actually sent on February 9th, we may never know. Because conveniently, Lyric's phone records from that day have never been made public. But what we do know is that between 4 p.m. when they got home and 8 p.m. when friends started getting worried, something happened in that garage. Something that would silence Lyric forever. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you went 4 hours without checking your phone? Without responding to a text? Without posting on social media? On your birthday for matter? I mean, I might get not responding, but at least coming online to see what's happening on that special day of yours.
Right.
Because that's exactly what happened with Lyric. And for a woman whose entire business depended on staying connected, that should have been the first red flag. By 8 p.m., her best friend Jessica was calling repeatedly. By 9 p.m., family members were texting frantically. By 10 p.m., panic had set in. Lyric never missed important calls, never went silent on her birthday, never left people wondering where she was.
Hold on, y'all.
At 11:47 p.m., Jessica made the call that would change everything.
Begin tonight in Dallas County, where detectives are investigating the death of a mother and her little boy.
Seagoville police were called to a welfare check last week when relatives couldn't get in contact with them, and officers found the mother and son both unresponsive inside their home.
Janelle Ford just spoke with some of their neighbors and joins us live in Seagoville with what she's learned.
Well, Chris and Izzy, overall, this is just a very sad situation. The neighbors tell me that the mother and son were found dead in the garage of this home. You can see where someone's come and placed flowers out front. And tonight, investigators are working to learn exactly what happened.
First, you hear the screams. Then moments later, you see the first responders. They're heading 2 doors down to this home, where 27-year-old Lyric Backus and her 7-year-old son Deuce were found dead in the garage.
It was just mayhem. Everybody out here crying, screaming. The cops was out here, they taped it off.
Backus's family believes the pair died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Police are waiting on autopsies before confirming.
Now here's where things get real interesting. And I need y'all to start asking the same questions I'm asking. Because what happened next doesn't sit right with me. And it shouldn't sit right with you either. The police response was swift and decisive. Carbon monoxide poisoning. Tragic accident. No foul play suspected. Case closed. Hold up. Hold up. Case closed. Already? Let me get this straight. A successful businesswoman and social media influencer dies under mysterious circumstances on her birthday, along with her child, and we're supposed to believe that's just an accident? No investigation into who might have wanted them gone? No looking into whether someone could have trapped them in that garage? No questions about why they were even in there in the first place? Yo, I've covered enough cases to know that when the police close a case this fast, especially one involving someone with alleged connections to celebrity circles, somebody made a phone call, and that somebody has influence. But here's what really gets me heated. The details they didn't release.
I missed it a little bit, yeah.
No mention of how... Yo, no investigation, child, and we're supposed to believe that's just an accident? No investigation into a successful businesswoman and social media influencer dies
My bad, y'all. I gotta bring it back.
under mysterious circumstances on her birthday, along with her child, and we're supposed to believe that's just an accident? No investigation into who might have wanted them gone? No looking into whether someone could have trapped them in that garage? No questions about why they were even in there in the first place? Yo, I've covered enough cases to know that when the police close a case this fast, especially one involving someone with alleged connections to celebrity circles, somebody made a phone call, and that somebody has influence. But here's what really gets me heated.
Somebody got her killed.
The details they didn't release. No mention of how long the car had been running. No explanation for why a successful businesswoman and her young son would be sitting in a garage with a running car on her birthday.
What?
No discussion of whether the garage door opener had been tampered with. The timeline remained frustratingly vague. Medical examiner's office refused to provide specifics. Even more troubling? The complete absence of any mention of witness interviews. In a residential neighborhood where houses sit...
Y'all gotta update me what happened when she was in the garage. Was somebody, did the guy lock her in the garage and she suffocated? Or like what happened? He killed her in the garage and just left her in the car? She was in the car dead? What happened? All I know is she was in the garage in the car with her son. But what happened though? Oh, they didn't say yet, I bet.
Close together. Nobody heard a car running for hours. Nobody noticed anything unusual. And here's the million-dollar question. In 2024, cameras are everywhere. Doorbell cameras, security systems, traffic lights. Yet not a single piece of video evidence was released showing Lyric's final day.
They died in the car.
Ladies, when evidence disappears this fast and cases get closed this quietly, that you...
I think, yeah, that's crazy. Cause she was asleep. Yeah, that's how I said. It's something that made them pass out or something. Cause you're not gonna sit in the car for 4 hours with the car on. Like, the fuck? And he had to give him something. Cause why you sit in the car the car running for 4 hours? You know what I'm saying? Now you're not gonna do that. I'm telling you, you got this shit down pack. You need to be one of the ladies like shit is talking about all the information. I'd be tuned in. I'd be like, what? Oh, that could be true. Oh, that's possible. Like, real life, you have my brain twisted because the shit you think about coming up with it, like, they could have died off of monoxide or some shit like that. Or not. Somebody had to give him something because ain't nobody sitting in no motherfucking garage in those 6 goddamn hours. You're not even going to go to sleep in the car for 6 hours with your shit on like that. Come on now.
Usually means someone with money and power made sure it happened that way. Someone who had everything to lose if the investigation went too deep.
So listen, you guys, I just have something on my mind real quick, and I just need to get it off of my chest.
Sitting on IG 4 hours, no way.
So I'm on TikTok, okay, minding my business, being nosy like I always do, okay, and I see Yellow Beezy. They have, the little video about his baby mama and stuff like that, right? And I was like, darn, I remember hearing something about that.
Yellow
But
Beezy.
as soon as I scroll on it, I heard alert, alert, alert. Now I do have discernments, okay? I am very good at what I do, okay? So I'm like, okay, let me read the comments and see what they talking about. So they was like, why you got Yellow Beezy name up there? He ain't had nothing to do with it. So I'm like, okay, all right. So they was talking about, yeah, because she passed away in the garage. Now I do not want to say her name because I do not want her to be visiting me, trying to tell me what happened to her when I'm trying to handle my business, okay? So I'm like reading, they was like, yeah, she was in the garage and this, that, and I was like, in the garage and just fell asleep. Then I was like, okay, one question. Well, I have 5 or 6, 7 questions. What woman what mom
She said 5 or 6 questions.
Okay, pulls up, okay, to her house, hit the garage door, okay, to be open, pulls in, put the car in park, okay, close the garage, okay, and decides, oh, I'm going to go to sleep. Now the son is old enough to speak, okay, and I'm sure he would have been saying, Mom, come on, let's go in the house, wake up, okay. Even if he was asleep in the car, the first thing you want to do is get them kids in the house. You want to get them in the house, you want to bathe them, get them whatever, how y'all do, okay? So I just have a question. What y'all think about it? Because I just feel like y'all sweeping up under the rug too easy for me. Okay? It sounds easy, don't it? It sounds like the perfect, but it don't make sense to me. Just help me out. So as a parent, your kids in the car, you don't mind, you open, you do all these steps, these are steps that has to be done, okay? Please don't tell me back then, okay? I'm just
You
saying.
ain't tripping, girl.
All these steps that has to be done: open the garage, put the car in park, close the garage,
You ain't tripping.
and you decide to snuggle in the front seat and be like, because I want to get in my bed. I don't know.
But you know what
She
the
funny
most
as
telling
shit.
part of this whole situation is? The professional silence that followed. While Segoville mourned, while the community demanded answers, while Lyric's friends organized vigils and asked hard questions, the alleged father of her child? Radio silence. Not a tweet, not an Instagram story, not even a generic RIP post. Nothing. Now I want you all to think about this for a second. If someone you'd allegedly been connected to for 7 years died under mysterious circumstances, along with a child who might be yours, what would your reaction be?
Devastating.
Even if you had to keep the relationship private, wouldn't you find some way to acknowledge the loss? But this man couldn't even manage that. And the more I think about it, the more I realize that silence isn't just suspicious, it's calculated. Because when you say nothing, you can't be quoted. When you don't acknowledge someone publicly, you can't be connected to them legally. The community wasn't buying it though. But questions don't matter when the case is already closed and the people with answers aren't talking. The aftermath hit Segoville like a shockwave. Within hours of the discovery, funeral arrangements were being made for a joint service. Mother and son together, just as they were found. But here's what raised eyebrows throughout the community. According to some sources, someone with deep pockets allegedly stepped forward to cover all expenses. Now, who do you all think that benefactor might have been? And more importantly, why would someone pay for a funeral but not show up to it? Because that's what was rumored to have happened. The community gathered to say goodbye to Lyric and Deuce. Hundreds of people showed up. Friends, customers, neighbors, fellow entrepreneurs. The church was packed with people whose lives had been touched by this mother.
She must have been dealing with a real live gangster nigga, I ain't gonna lie. She had to been dealing with a mob nigga or mob tie nigga, cause if you got this girl and her son killed and you said nothing, so nothing can bring back, so nothing can trace back to you, but you somehow still figure out a way to be the person that pays for the whole fucking funeral. She was dealing with somebody with some power.
And son. But guess who was nowhere to be found?
She was dealing with somebody that
Take a wild guess.
They got some strings
Social media
that they can pull.
exploded with tributes and questions. Instagram stories flooded with memories, theories, and demands for answers. The influencer community, particularly Black women entrepreneurs, rallied together. They knew the struggle of building something from nothing while protecting your child. Their posts weren't just tributes, they were battle cries. Justice for Lyric started trending locally. Remember Deuce followed close behind. But for every post demanding answers, there was a corresponding silence from the one person everyone expected to hear from. The theories came fast and relentless. Some people pointed to carbon monoxide as the silent killer it's known to be.
There you
Car
go.
malfunctioned, tragic but explainable, they argued. Others suggested Lyric couldn't handle some unknown pressure we didn't know about. But the theory that wouldn't go away, the one that had people talking in barbershops and beauty salons across Dallas, that this was no accident, that someone with everything to lose had finally decided Lyric knew too much. Now let me talk about something that's been eating at me since I started researching this case. When tragedy strikes, when innocent lives are lost, when a community mourns, we expect those connected to step forward. We expect statements. We expect presence. We expect basic human decency. But in the case of Lyric backers and Little Deuce, the man allegedly connected to their lives chose a different path entirely. Complete and total silence. And y'all, that silence is loud. Legal experts understand the strategy, right? When you're potentially connected to a high-profile death case, even tangentially, your attorney's first advice is simple. Say nothing. Every word can be dissected, analyzed, used against you in ways you never anticipated.
Fact.
But this wasn't just any case. This involved a 7-year-old child who may have been his own flesh and blood. This involved a woman who had allegedly kept his secrets for 7 years. 7 years of loyalty, 7 years of protection, 7 years of building her life around keeping his comfortable. And when she dies under mysterious circumstances, when the community is crying out for answers, when Little Deuce, who might carry his DNA, is being lowered into the ground, not one word. The pattern here isn't unique, though, and that's what makes it so infuriating. We've seen it before in the entertainment industry. When scandal threatens, when questions arise, when accountability comes knocking, the walls go up. Publicists craft carefully worded statements. Lawyers issue cease and desist orders. The celebrity machine protects the brand at all costs. Here's what keeps me up at night about this case. and what should keep you all asking questions in these comments. If this truly was just a tragic accident, why not offer support to the
No
grieving
goddamn
community?
accident.
Why not honor the memory of a woman who had allegedly been part of your life?
No accident.
Why not acknowledge a child who may have carried your DNA? The questions multiply with each passing day.
Dealing with these goofies with money.
Silence guilt? Was it legal strategy? Was it simple indifference?
I tell women all the time, stop dealing with it because he got money, he provide for you and you got a child, okay? Okay? You gotta know who you're dealing with. Stop just dealing with him because he financially can take care of you. Know who you're dealing with personally as a man. As a woman, know who you're dealing with as a man. No, they didn't say anything about her being pregnant at all. Mm-mm. No, they didn't. I'm still trying to figure out who's the baby father. Who the baby father? Because what if he not the baby father? You feel me? What if he like thought he was the baby father and then found out like 2 months ago that he not the baby father? And she told him or something like that. And then that's why he... You never know, bro. I'm just saying. You never know. I'm thinking like you now, special girl. I'm thinking like you now because like you think about it. What if that's not cuz son? But she said it was, and then he found out it wasn't after like 5 or 6 years. That'd be fucked up. You lied to me and said it wasn't my child. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was my child, but it ain't. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't kill the baby daddy because you don't know who the baby daddy is. You thought you was the baby daddy. But now it's another nigga, and she ain't tell you who it was. So now the only thing he can do is get her and let the child suffer for it. And if you're that crazy in the head and don't got all your marbles, you will do some shit like that. If a girl play with you like that and a child, and you probably taking care of the child, buying them all types of shit, taking them to Chuck E. Cheese land, everything, and then come to find out that's not his son. That'll make a nigga do some crazy, bro. Real life.
Or was it something
what the
much
child
more
do?
calculated? The final act of a man who had spent 7 years
Yeah,
treating
it's
a
wicked.
child
Like, come on
they
now.
were disposable.
Like, it had to been something
And
like
let's talk about those
he
text
had like something against the child too. I feel like the child just had to deal with the consequences because of the mother.
messages that apparently never got released. Because you know there had to be communication between Lyric and this alleged father. 7 years of relationship doesn't happen in complete silence. But more importantly, sources close to Lyric claim she'd been drafting messages in the weeks before her death. Messages that would have exposed everything she'd been keeping secret.
Right.
Friends say she was tired of living in the shadows.
Right. Basically.
Tired of protecting someone who wouldn't protect her back.
Yeah, she probably was tired of lying to this nigga. That's what it was. She was tired, well, rest in peace her soul, so I'm not gonna put nothing on her. But she might have been tired of lying and saying this ain't your child. And it was like, she didn't know how she was gonna say it, so she just drafting up messages and not knowing how she gonna say it. But when she do send that motherfucker, it's gonna be sent. And she, you know what I'm saying? So she just practicing how to deliver this wild-ass message to him. And then when she delivered it to him, he crashed out. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. Because what other reason why you gonna, come on, bro. What other reason why?
And on her 28th birthday, she may have finally decided to hit send on those messages that could have destroyed his carefully crafted image.
That's what I'm saying. I told you. Wrong time. She did it on her birthday. She wanted to send a message on her birthday. Probably sent some wild ass shit on her birthday.
But here's the $1 million question. If those messages were sent, where are they now? Why haven't Lyric's phone records from February 9th ever been made public? What happened to the evidence that could have shown us exactly what she knew and who she was threatening to expose? The investigation wrapped up faster than a drive-through order. But the questions linger. Who benefits from keeping this case closed? Who had the influence to make sure certain evidence never saw the light of day? And why was the community's demand for answers met with such institutional silence? So here's my final question for y'all, and I want honest answers in the comments. When you look at this case, the mysterious circumstances, the rushed investigation, the calculated silence from someone who allegedly shared 7 years with this woman, what do you see? Do you see a tragic accident? Or do you see what happens when loyalty flows in only one direction and secrets become more valuable than lives? Drop your theories below. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, because cases like this don't get solved by staying quiet. They get solved by communities like ours who refuse to let the truth stay buried. Lyric, Bacchus and Deuce deserved better. They deserve the truth. And until we get it, their story will continue to be told. Because when powerful people think they can make problems disappear, it's up to us to make sure those problems stay visible. What really happened in that garage on February 9th, 2024? The official answer is carbon monoxide poisoning. But the real answer, that's still out there, waiting for someone brave enough to speak up. Your move, Dallas.
If I had wings like a dove, then I would fly away, and I would be a
Man, y'all see that shit? That's crazy. That's still, I ain't gonna lie. Do y'all see why you gotta be careful out here, Slim? You can't be out here lacking. Cause it's just